Holy cow, what are we doing? Today we're over at the farm we call Kristin and Rusty's, and we are going to get ready for harvest. First up, we need to make sure that both of these bins have no weeds around them. We put soybeans in these and we unload them during the winter time, and if we have weeds here, the snow blows in, it builds up here, then we end up covering our unload, and then if it kind of thaws and freezes, it becomes hard as a rock, and we cannot get under there. Next up, we need to be able to get our semis through here, so that way we can unload the semis into the bins. As we can see, we don't just have 2 hay bales here, we have like 50 that we need to get out of the way. Problem is, in order to get them out of the way, we need to have a home for them. I know it doesn't look like it because we have a whole bunch of weeds in place right now, but this is actually a concrete pad, so we need to get these weeds mowed down because we're gonna end up putting those hay bales here. That way they don't freeze down and then we can get to them during the winter time. And then while we got the skid loader over here with the mower and the bucket and the forks and everything else, we might as well come down over to our scrap metal pile where you never know when you're gonna need something, but it's kind of being overrun by weeds right now, so it would be good to come in here, get all this stuff knocked down. Same thing, once it snows, it's really hard to find stuff when we have weeds in here because then it seems like it just wants to build up with snow. And how did that tree grow so fast? That was not there a year ago. Wow. And then on the other side of our overrun scrap concrete pad, I got a bunch of stuff laying out here in the grass that I just need to get inside. But before we can do that, we need to clean out the inside of this building, which is really not too bad. Nothing a leaf blower and a couple hours cannot take care of. I also found a nice scrap pile in the back here that I think we can just pull the dump truck on and throw all that junk on there. As they say, ain't nothing to it but to do it. It might boost my productivity if we had fuel. Okay, let's try this again. We got what I'm gonna call the fun part done. Everything is mowed here on the vehicle. I'm gonna see if I can move these I-beams, and we have an old grain vac in there to get those weeds at least knocked down for the year. I ended up circling around this whole building site right along the edge of the beans. The weeds were kind of growing in, and when we're combining these, I just want to make sure we don't actually get in too far and catch any of this concrete. I do need to get this moved yet, but I should probably put the bucket on the skid loader, honestly, and come in here. Try to peel as much of this stuff off as I can that's growing through the cracks. Then I'd be able to move all this. I'd be able to move some stuff back there, push that in a pile. This barn's gonna be coming down at some point, and so will this silo and that silo. So we kind of have a more or less junk pile back here that we're gonna be forming, just because all that's going to be going bye-bye anyway. I think I'm going to be able to get most of this on the scrap pile. There's some vine stuff in here, so that's going to be fun. We'll just throw a glove on. We'll be able to pull that out, nice big globs. Got some water hemp in there. Not really looking too forward to going in there with the machete to chop it out. I'm hoping they're just big plants, so you just got to chop a couple times. And some of these other ones, I think I might just have to get some spray and kill them because there's no way I'm gonna be able to get in there to actually chop that out. The site kind of got away from me this year a little bit. I had it all cleaned up last year when I laid everything in here. There wasn't a single weed on this concrete pad. But if you don't maintain stuff, things tend to get a little bit out of control. So we'll get it. Some of these weeds are gonna be a little too thick for the weed whacker, or it's just gonna do a number on the wire, whatever you wanna call it. So I'm just gonna use this weed whacker first. Just like a sickle, basically on the end of like a golf club, so you can practice your golf swing while you're getting weeds down. But we'll go through, we'll hit this first, Then we'll come back with a weed whacker. We'll be able to clean it up, get it looking real nice. For whatever reason, my camera's being goofy. I don't know if it's because it's due to the fact it's sitting in the hot sun when it's 96 degrees out right now. But I got everything weed whacked around these with the hand units. So I'm gonna grab the actual electric weed trimmer now, and we'll get this cleaned up here nice. Bummer this isn't working. Hopefully it's just the heat though. Oh, that's what I need. Which one do I want? I want that one. Look at them from a distance. Ah, the bales are in the way, but we got them done. Now, every time I drive through here, I have that wire hanging down right there that attaches up into this barn. It's always in the way, and I'm worried I'm gonna catch it up in the lawnmower blades. It's gonna be a big old mess. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot there was an upstairs to this building. Now, you always gotta be careful doing this. If you don't know what you're doing, get a professional. There's no electricity hooked up to this, it's just the wire. The building that it used to get supplied from is under that weed patch, and it burned down like 15 years ago, so not that long ago, 10 years ago. But nonetheless, there's no electricity to this building, just the wires. So I'm actually gonna try to cut it down with this first, I think. I guess we may as well get that one too. Got it. Now we need to grab the dump truck because we have the fun part. Oh, it's hot, hot. That seat. Woo. Turn on the air. Oh, that chrome is hot. Just one dump truck driver passing another dump truck driver. So here's the plan. We're gonna start at the back of this shed, cleaning out all of the scrap metal junk. There's a whole bunch of pieces of metal in here from an old building. It looks like just a bunch of trim. It's literally all tin. We're not gonna use any of it. We start with the not so fun part, and then as we work our way forward, it gets easier and easier, and it gets more and more fun. You always gotta start with the hard part, otherwise you don't wanna do it. You gotta have something to look forward to. But in all honesty, once we get this out of here, the rest, pretty much a shovel, a broom, and the leaf blower is gonna get rid of all this hay, and everything else is staying. Oh yes, we got reinforcements. Yeah, I got sprayed with a skunk a little bit ago. Oh man, yeah, he kicked away. Between Cooper and I, that's what we got loaded. Took about an hour. Tell you what, no air inside that building. Whew, a little toasty. Now we pretty much have everything left in here that we want to keep. We're going to be selling those planter boxes, or you have extra planter parts we're going to be selling. We got some old stock stompers for our old 8-row corn head that we're going to be selling. So pretty much everything in the front is sellable materials. We're going to grab the broom, we're going to grab the leaf blower, the shovel, we'll bring the skid loader in here, we'll come in, we'll get all this old hay out, and anything else that smells and is not so fun to be around. And then we'll just have clean concrete, and then we'll start stuffing stuff in on the sides on stuff we want to keep that is currently hiding outside, and then this building will be done. Oh, sweet fire. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect to get that sweaty. That's an incredible amount of hay that was just hiding back in there. We did not get this perfect, as we got 87,000 bullet holes in this thing, so the wind just kind of comes through. It's not gonna stay very clean, but getting the most of all of that picked up is the big thing, because this gives mice a whole lot less incentive to want to make a home when they just have the little dust like what's there on the edge to play with versus that. But it actually doesn't look too bad. That's cheating. Oh my goodness, where was that yesterday? It's not perfect, but we got it a lot better. We're just gonna have to do a better job of maintaining this, getting here and spraying stuff when we see stuff start to come along the building. It's really hard to get in there with the weed whacker. It's also really hard to get into stuff like this. In all honesty, a lot of these scrap piles, or even when you're cleaning out a building, you go through it once, you think you're gonna keep certain things, so you keep them, and then you come back a year later, and you're like, I should probably go through some of that again. Then you end up getting rid of like half of what you kept the first time, and then another year goes by, and then you come back and you end up getting rid of half of what you kept the second time until you just have a little bit left. You just realize we're never gonna use it, and then the more you touch it, you just kind of detach yourself from it, and then before you know it, you have a completely clean area. And that's definitely gonna be the case with a lot of this stuff on the pallets. Originally, we set it off to the side because we planned on keeping it, but like some of these auger parts, we'll never use these ends anymore because we have incline ends on ours. Maybe those pulleys, so maybe some of these just need to be sorted through a little bit better. And these are just random pieces of metal. Cooper's pretty good about wanting to get rid of stuff, so I like doing this stuff with him. Dad is our system of checks and balances because he looks at the pile of stuff we're throwing away, and usually he'll pull a couple things out. But I do know one thing that's not going to be going, and that's this door. I don't really know how that happened, but Cooper's going to have a fun little job putting that back on. When we're doing that, it might not be a bad idea to seal up this hole too, because right now, yeah, I can just see right in the building. Okay, let's load this stuff up and get it inside so we can get this job wrapped up. That pole was supposed to be like that, right? Oh, good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Ellie. Oh, hi. Somebody left the air conditioning left it on last night. Oh boy, 64 degrees out this morning. We're gonna try to get this door on first things first. Cooper brought a bunch of tools with us and some screws and other supplies. And then we gotta figure out how to Tetris this stuff inside of there. Oh, how'd that get boogered up? Well, I'm mastering the game of Tetris and trying to avoid the dogs. Cooper is cutting up plywood there so that way we can fix that hole. And then while we're in construction mode, then we can fix the door. This problem could have easily been resolved by just not ripping the door off, but Cooper had other plans in mind, I guess. Not bleeding as deep as that is, I don't know, but it doesn't, and it doesn't hurt, so we're not going to complain. We're trying to get this latch on, well, these rollers, so we ended up loosening this so we can pull that metal piece out and then get it on. But when this accidentally got ripped off, this got bent down, so it's hitting that piece of metal right there. So basically we need to be able to get this whole piece right here past that in order for us to get the door on. So we're gonna have to try to figure out a way to straighten this out, otherwise there's no way. But this is some pretty stout steel, so, and it's bent, so that might be kind of fun. We'll figure it out.
Oh, slides better than before.
Okay, we got this shed all done. We brought this trailer in here. A lot of this stuff's gonna go to a sale here. I don't know if that's this fall yet or if it's gonna be next spring, but either way, it's loaded up. It's ready to go in there. It's in the dry, it's easy to get to. Everything else we got organized nice in here. We got a motor pack, easy to get to. We just have to pull that trailer out and we can get right to this. And then everything else in here, just kind of as we need it. We left a little alleyways in case we need a cinder block or in case we need to come and get this fan for whatever reason. We got nice, easy access to everything. So this building is done. Next project over here, there is a broken rafter. If the reflection would get out of the way. What are we looking at there? 2x8? See what we got on the lumber pile. There might be one right here. How rotten are you? Might not be too bad. Cooper did end up getting all his hay out of the driveway, and he cleared off this spot over here. This was all horse weeds and all that stuff. And so now he's got a nice, easy to get to concrete pad for his bales that won't fit in buildings. Shed's done, around the bins is all done. All the hay bales are cleaned up out of the driveway. And then we got that area picked up. Got all this mowed down, got all that mowed down, got the wire off the silo, got the wire off that, got that building all cleaned out, reorganized, got the old scrap pad cleaned up. I think it's about time for lunch. Holy smokes, 340's back. We got both sprayers out and the combine is hiding up there. Between everything we just picked up and what was already on the dump truck, we basically have a load. There's a little bit down at the main heated shop we're gonna grab just before harvest. That way our scrap pile's completely empty over there. And I'm gonna have to boogie because the scrapyard closes in an hour and 6 minutes and it's about a 38-minute drive and we still have to fill the dump truck. Wow, there was a lot in there. Here we go to the scrapyard. I think this front loader's got a big bucket full of scrap metal. I hope I'm following him to the scrapyard because that's awesome. I was right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the scrapyard.
Give me a second, I'll be right out.
Okay, I think it's just shred. Always look at what I got and they're like, what's he bringing in today? What'd I do wrong today?
Just always have to look at your load.
Yeah, it's
You always have a hodgepodge or something.
yeah.
We'll go to shred with it.
That's what I figured. Every time I come, they never know what I'm gonna bring, and it's usually a hodgepodge of a bunch of stuff, so they have to come out and evaluate it as what we're going to be selling it as. So we have what they're going to call a high value shred, whatever that means. So we'll probably get like $5, $10 a ton more, which I wanted it gone anyway, so the fact that I even get paid for it's awesome. Man, he's already dumped. That's a smart idea. Okay, we gotta find the shred pile. Scrapyard is looking pretty dirty on the driveway, so hopefully we don't have any pokey pokies. But this place is empty right now. Wow. Normally that pile's all the way out to here. The old brake drum pile. Rotors too. Always got to make sure. Oh, we missed something. Not bad. 5,100 pounds, $120 a ton. $307.20. We're not quite done with the equipment Tetris yet. Behind me we have the Bush mower, Cooper's mower conditioner, and the Oliver pulling the Quilty packer. We're gonna pull those out, get those over to the north shed. Then we're gonna have a big wide open area here, which is gonna be perfect because down at the main heated shop right now we have the disc and the real disc just sitting right off to the side. So when you back out of the main door, they're kind of right in your blind area when you're backing up with the trailers. So not the best spot, but we're gonna have a new open area right here. And then we're gonna end up pulling the disc and the real disc, putting them here. They're gonna be super out of the way, but when we need to get to them, easy access. All the way through here, between the building and the bin is the driveway. So we will not ever have really trailers off of this particular path. So when they're tucked in over there, nice and protected. But all we gotta do, just pull in right here, back up with the 4-wheel drive tractor, and then boom, we'll be hooked up to them. See what kind of room we got in the north building. That might be in the way. I forgot that these semi-trailers were in here. We're gonna need to be getting those out in a couple days, so I don't wanna park a bunch of stuff here in front and then have to end up pulling it back out to get those out. So my plan of putting stuff in the north building right now is not going to work. Coop's not wasting any time. He's breathing down my neck. That's a mean unit right there. Whew. Whew. Cooper just came up with another idea. Maybe we could put the discs in right here, and then they'd be really out of the way, and then we're leaving the other area open if we have trailers or something and we want to back in there. Then it's a lot easier to get in there versus putting trailers here. We'll find out. Well, I was off at the scrapyard. Dad and Cooper got all the Y drops, pulled off the sprayers. Everything is cleaned, winterized. So now we're just gonna put them away in our newly cleaned building. Hopefully our little room over here is going to be big enough. We're gonna have it full. Cooper went to go get the disc, so we're gonna sit and practice Spanish. I have been excited about my Spanish. I have a 547-day streak. I tried to do 30 minutes a day. I've really been proactive on that like the last 6 months. And I had conversations with people the other day for like 30 minutes in all Spanish. Now, I didn't understand everything. You know, there are spots, you know, they did like body language, different things, and like we understood what we were talking about. I met an H2A worker, I think that's what they're called, but he was from Costa Rica. Sat down for 30 minutes. He works on a farm here in Iowa. We were just talking farming back and forth. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, how can I understand what he's saying? In high school, I did not enjoy Spanish class whatsoever. That's the class that ruined my 4.0 because my teacher thought that I was cheating on the final paper, which I did not. But I had no interest in learning Spanish whatsoever, so literally in the last 550 days just practicing 30 minutes a day. Like I've learned a little, like over 1,600 words now, and just unbelievable to me. Really cool.
Los estudiantes aquí son muy responsables.
Los estudiantes aquí son muy responsables. Estamos emocionadas con esta fiesta. If you want to follow what I'm doing, I use Duolingo. That's my name, Cole the Corn Star. You can follow me if you want to anyway. I don't really know what following does on Duolingo, but it's kind of cool to see what other people are doing. And that did not take Cooper long at all. Wait, why is there a log stuck in there? Yet to figure out why we keep broken tools. That handyman jack, we have 2 of them. The one works, the one doesn't, but we always keep the one that doesn't work, and then when you're working on something and you grab it, you always grab the broken one. Usually somewhere on the item that's broken, Dad will have a half-dead paint marker, and then he'll write bad on it, and it kind of halfway comes in, and then it gets covered with dirt and stuff, and we still keep it. It's a dad quirk. There. That looks a lot better. We had a pretty good day today. We got all the goals done that we set out to get done, and that is something we have been really trying to do. When we make a goal of doing something, we just do the things to achieve that goal. Once that goal is done, then we can make another goal, and all those things go towards the really big goal. So really we're just doing like a million mini goals within one big goal, all headed towards the same direction. But we're gonna call it an early night. It's 6:30 right now. We got invited over for supper with Summer and Jay, so we're gonna take advantage of it before harvest starts, and we're not gonna be able to get away at all. Don't forget, if you want to help represent the farm, check out the merchandise. Link is in the description. It's also right here on the screen. I know we got some stuff that's just about sold out, so get it while you still can, and be sure to check out the socks. Those things are sweet. But that is all I have for today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.